Yes.
Hey, Cole, what's on the format? Very useful. Oh,
You know, Emmett.
You know, Emmett.
Snow would be the easy way out, that softening sky, like a sigh of relief at finally being allowed to yield. No dice. We stack twigs for burning and glistening patches, but the rain won't give. So we wait. Reading mood, making music of decline, we sit down in the smell of the past, rise in the light that is already leaving. We ache in secret, memorizing a gloomy line or two of German. When spring comes, we promise to act the fool. Pour rain, sail, wind, with your cargo of zithers. That was November for Beginners by Rita Dove. I'm Cole Mash, and this is Inspired Word Cafe. I planted some fake clappers over there because we used to do that sort of intro when we had a TV show. There goes my pen. And there used to be people that told people to clap. So I planted clappers, but you knew, so good job, guys. Okay, so welcome to the second open mic of the year, the November open mic, hence the November poem. I'm gonna rip through here. Aaron did something tonight. I'm blaming Aaron. So back in the day, Raul, who once was up here blabbering on at times. Raul, our sweet Raul, our founder. He used to, his policy on the open mic was he would let everyone who wanted to go in the open mic go in the open mic, and so there would be like 9 shows a month with like 3 hours, and so we don't do that anymore. But Aaron let a lot of people into the open mic, a lot of people into the slam, and Aaron said sometimes you just gotta roll it up. So roll with it. Yeah, I like that. You should get roll with it. This is roll with it. But so tonight I'm not gonna roll it up because we have so many poets, so I'm gonna be very quick. I've got some housekeeping stuff to go through here. But before we do that, I would like to note that we are on the unceded territory of the Silk Okanagan people. It's a privilege to be able to work and live and create art as guests on this land, but I think it's often important to remember that we are uninvited guests on this land. Housekeeping. So there's 3 bathrooms back there, all of which are genderless, single stall. 1 is accessible. Boxcar is open, as I said. Steam Funds, you remember that? That was good time. Boxcar is open. They will be open through the break, which will go till about 8:05. So if you haven't had any food, if the poetry makes you hangry, hit up Boxcar at the break, and then they'll be doing last call probably sometime before 8 o'clock. Broke Press is here. Round of applause for Broke Press. Reach into those pockets, poetry fans. Broke Press is here. Go get your chapbooks. They're beautiful. I think Claire is also selling dime bags, but no rollies. So bring your own rollies. Is that right? I think that's what Claire told me to say. Oh. Okay. What else do we got here? Last event was supposed to be the zine launch, and we mentioned the zine like basically not at all. We had a lot to get through. Everyone was really excited, but IWC, in collaboration with Rose from the Parks. Yeah. She did a rad zine in the summer. There's free copies of it over there. By donation, maybe. Yeah, that's Zine Man. He loves the zine. So pretend like last time we did this wonderful like zine launch and be excited and maybe pick up a zine if you have any culture. I'm kidding. We don't need that. Okay, sponsors. IWC is brought to you in part by City of Kelowna. People don't like City of Kelowna. We like City of Kelowna. They pay our bills. They keep the lights on. BNA Brewing Co. We like. That was sweet. That was super weak. Brought to you in part by BNA Brewing Co. They're the ones keeping you buzzed. BC Community Gaming Grant. You probably don't know who they are yet. They're the ones keeping IWC buzzed. Okay, that's all of our sponsors. Oh yeah, and one final IWC is brought to you in part by Steamed Buns. I do want a steamed bun though. Okay, so we're gonna get to the open mic part of the show here. I'm gonna save some more housekeeping stuff for a bit later, so I don't blabber on too hard here. But yeah, okay, so we're gonna get to the open mic. First up to the mic, I'm gonna go out of the order that's initially here because I want to. Oh yeah, everyone who's in the open mic, put your hands up right now. Who's in the open mic? I'm gonna be really firm. We have a hook. We have a giant Bo Peep looking fucking hook, and we will pull you off the stage after one poem. Okay? One poem. That's all you get tonight. Aaron, blame Aaron. Should have signed up less people. You would have got 2 poems. So do the one you want to do. I'm looking at you, Matt. Don't save that funny poem for later. There's no time. Okay, one poem. I'm gonna bring up my man Alvin to start the show. Alvin's a diva, so he takes his time coming up to the stage. But Alvin really rocked the house last time. Alvin went up there and just brought the house down. So let's while Alvin gets ready, let's have another warm round of applause for Alvin.
Actually, I'll just take it. Hello, I'm back. Whee! I'm not sure who was here the last time I sang. Who was here? Hey, all right. I'm gonna do something different today because basically I forgot my guitar. So we're just gonna do a cappella. For those of you that know, I'm Alvin. I partially run an a cappella club at UBC, and we go for competition in the ICCAs every year. Yes, it's a real competition. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of just for the sake of it. I'll just get you guys to kind of like click for me. So I just need a simple like click, click, click. Because I can't click. I can't.
Clicking, oh yeah.
And then I'll just go a cappella. So can we have a little bit slower?
Oh my god.
morning. You're the sunshine in my rain when it's pouring. Won't you give yourself to me? Give it all. I just wanna see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I'll follow, no matter how far. If life is a movie, oh, you're the best part. Oh, oh, you're the best part. Oh, best part. It's a sunrise and those brown eyes, yes. You're the one that I decide. When we wake up and then we make love, it makes me feel so nice. You're my water when I'm stuck in a desert. You're the time I take when my head hurts. You're the sunshine of my life. And I just wanna see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I'll follow, no matter how far. If life is a movie, you're the best part. Oh, you're the best part. Oh, best part. If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you say? If you love me, won't you say something? Louder claps. If you love me, won't you? Ooh. If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Ooh. If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? Oh, oh. If you love me, won't you say something? Oh, you're the best part.
Thanks, Alvin. Just let's have another round of applause for Alvin while he's up here. You want to plug something here, Alvin?
Not really plug something, but thank you for the hire. I feel like I just used up 1 year of luck by performing first because I came like 6:30 and it was already full. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, Alvin. Yeah, you make me feel like that episode of Fresh Prince where Boyz II Men comes on there. There's one person old enough to remember that. Yeah. You can sit down, Alvin.
Yeah.
Woo, Alvin! Yeah. The other thing I was going to mention, not a lot of drummers in the crowd, but okay, next up to the mic, we're gonna keep things rolling here. Next up to the mic is Travis.
What is up, everybody? Okay, so normally I'm a competitive slam poet. I'm also a musician and a producer, so we're going to try something a little different this time. I'm going to try to do a song. Bear with me, I haven't done this tech before. Okay, so what's going to happen right now is I'm going to level balance the mic and the beat, so this is going to take me a sec. that for level? How's that for level check, level check? Yeah. That's good? Alright, we're good. This song is untitled. This song is about one Aaron. The song is about that insecurity of whether you're a good enough artist to call yourself an artist. I also made the beat. Am I lying to myself? I fake it so damn well. No bell sings or swells when you reign among the spells. Dirty air that prostrates. Winks a whispered dare. Shrinks beneath the stairs. Sputters though once it flares. Say no prayers. Yeah, forks that lightly score. Whatever it was for. Surplus is nicked and tore. Pock marks and scars that miss the mark of deportation. There's a sickle in my sleeve and to express the demonstration.
I know it's weird, okay? It's overly poetic. But from my heart, I swear I can.
Copacetic, won't regret it, the bar with heart cemented. I can barely go 2 lines without embedding the eccentric or maybe esoteric. Fuck, I guess I'll wear it. Ezekiel's angels are kind of my aesthetic. Yeah, mixed with ash and bone, antlers and tide pools and streams I see alone. Summer days with on a tree. Teenage me would be delighted to how I rock 30. Maybe in part, start art and stand apart. Dark days, face malaise, heart strays around a park. To know he's weird, but not enough to leave unmarked. Me that no one sees just begs to see the sparks. Thank you. I know that it's weird, okay, it's self-indulgency. But when a chapter ends so suddenly, turn the page or flee. So is it flee or succeed? And glean some lesson or some hidden message?
Come with me and see.
Yeah, it's for the lost, the lonely and the crossed, the ones who walk behind, the lonesome and the tossed. The ones who did some math about the weight of the exhaust. The ones who rescue others with their fingers laced with frost. Alright, one more gang. Let's bring it home. But can I call myself an artist yet? Can I push myself the farthest yet? Regardless of how dark it gets, I'll live and be a part of it. Couldn't even see, please. I'm lost beneath the deep sea. But what I write needs me to please leave free keys and to get all past my guard. But somehow when there's music, it's no longer quite so hard. Battle scarred. Wanders beneath the stars. Ponders the leaves and bark. A thief, at least in part. But I know that there are others who also feel like me. So put your hand in mine. We'll blow divine and march towards sights unseen. Thank you, everybody. If you like that, I have a lot of poetry. I have a lot of some spoken word and some hip hop. I'm writing an album right now. That beat was also made by me. A duo album I did with another poet can be found on Spotify under Ghost Coach. If you like what I do, I'm doing solo stuff, and I can be found at Frantic Rhymes on Instagram. Thank you, everybody.
What did I say about the speakers?
Travis! He also bakes a mean gooseberry pie. He's got a website for that too, so look out for it. I picked Travis next because I was trying to break up the musician-poet kind of thing, because we had a whole bunch of musicians signed up first. And then Travis went and just like showed us his talent of rapping and music. So I'm gonna ask Zan. Zan, are you out there? Yeah. Are you gonna do music, Zan? You're gonna do poems.
What do you want?
Anything you want to do. I wanna write her up next for a little bit of arc.
This is my first poem. Do you want to hear it?
I would love that. I'd love to hear it. Let's have a round of applause for Zan.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Zan. That's a new name for me. Thank you, everyone. Second, poetry is also new for me. I'll give you something that's not new. That's not new, but this is the new one. Please be nice.
Never.
Okay. Floating into nowhere, alone, naked, numb, cold, cadaver, black, Leave the dead, floating tons of metal into the drink. A deep, hollow mourning is felt from the terrified cries, sorrows, and regrets that sink deep. The sound reverberates, spinal vertebrae shake flesh, skull rattles tongue, but dead cries never touch the cadaver. Cold, numb, naked, alone, loading.
That's it. That's all I got.
Okay, Zan. So it's sort of tradition at IWC when people tell us that that's their first time reading poems. We always put them on the spot right after and go, how did that feel?
Good.
It felt good. So all you other poets out there, if you want to feel good too, get here at 6:30 next show. Okay. Good to have a poet. Okay, now I'm gonna kind of circle back around to the regular order. So next up to the mic, we have another musician, poet, IWC extraordinaire, someone you've seen lots up here. He always brings the house down. Let's have a big Inspired Word Cafe welcome for Mark Bortoludi.
Okay, it's up to you guys. What do you want to hear? A song or a poem? Okay, here's a coming poem. It's called In the End, My Friend. Now, oh man.
Take your time, Mark. You got this, man.
Now I'm not proud of many things I've said and done, but I want you to know I'm not out to prove myself to anyone. I just take my life as it comes, and in the end, my friend, what's done is done. We can't bring back yesterday's, doesn't matter what we do or say. So if we all just live for today, everything will work out in the end, my friend, anyway. Memories we share are beyond compare. What I'm really trying to say to you is, you all been a fine, fine friend, so remember, wherever you go, I've got your back any day, anytime, anywhere, in the end. Thanks.
Mark means that too, because today at about 3 o'clock I called him and said that I wasn't going to make it to get the chairs. So if your butt is on a chair, at least one of the foldy black chairs, it's probably uncomfortable because they're not the...
Oh, they're so comfortable. Oh my god.
I have a giant ass, so they're not comfortable for me, but I'm glad that you enjoy them. But Mark brought those chairs because he's got your back. Yeah. Okay, up next to the mic, cutting the banter, rolling on poutine. Up next to the mic, Emmett McMillan.
Testing your mic skills, Emmett. Here we go.
I didn't do the workshop. All right, I'm going to read a new poem that I actually workshopped at the writing workshop that IWC did. So I'm going to do a quick plug for that. It was really awesome. Our next one is on December 2nd, right? Yes, it's on Thursday, December 2nd at the Alternator Center in the Rotary Center. So if you want to get some stuff workshopped, then you can write a great poem like this one.
Yeah.
So this is called All This and Heaven Too. If only you would come down from the sky and tell me I am perfect in no uncertain way. I don't know about God, but I am made in someone's image. I see it every day in the mirror, in the reflection of my window, clouds hovering above my head like a halo only I can see. If only you would come down and say, do not be afraid. Guys like me are afraid sometimes. And who am I supposed to talk to about that? Climb down from the sun's rays and tell me whose image I am. What perfection is here that I do not see? Kiss me with freckles so that I may feel the love of someone burn my skin until it peels back to show who I am underneath. I never wear sunscreen. Maybe that's the reflection I cannot see until you show me reverence in the small things, like the water droplets suspended in the clouds while our fingers link tip to tip. If only you would lean on my windowsill and smile like somehow I was made for you, in the image of a lover I forgot I was. Pluck a feather from your wing and lay it across my cheek in offering, and I can ask, does it always feel like this? Asking, it always feels like this. Made in the image of something perfect? Yeah, right. Tell me again and maybe I can see it. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Evan. Thanks also for plugging the Inspired Word Cafe writing workshop. That was one of the housekeeping things I pushed off, so I'm gonna use that as a nice segue. A couple of housekeeping things. We have a writing workshop on December 2nd at. Did you hear about that?
Oh, yeah.
Some people over here, I think there's woes that they must not have heard about it. December 2nd, 7 p.m. at the Alternator. Be there with 10 copies of your poems printed. Bring poem, just one poem. Bring 10 copies of 30 poems. We're gonna have an open mic, open slam, December 3rd at the Well up at UBCO. UBCO students? Let's some woos. That's it? UBCO students, come on, woos. Wait, that was okay.
No.
December 3rd.
It's the 3rd.
I said 3rd, right?
You said 3rd.
Listen up, Shauna. And then finally we have the next poet who's going to come up and read, actually launching his book, Ghost Talk, December 9th at the Alternator. The event is called Ghost Talk of Christmas or Xmas Past. It's going to be our holiday special, so come out. There's going to be a short open mic. Natalie from last week is going to read some poems to open up. So yeah. Let's have a round of applause for that. Some woos. Okay, moving on. Next up to the mic, Matthew Penelope Rader.
Isn't that your mom's name?
Is that your mama joke?
Despite I've been in front of many microphones, but I don't think I've ever done an open mic, ever. Okay, this poem's called Autocorrect. I wanted to give thanks that autumn weekend in the Canadian desert. Tawny light, blue sky against sage. The north wind kept shoving the lake towards the US border, white caps stumbling like prisoners, auto-corrected back to lake water. That's what the mind does, distract itself, invent things. I went for a run where a point of land reaches out like predictive text across the lake, almost to the other side. File name anarchistmountain.jpg, file name sweux.mp3. Yellow light dripped from the peach leaf willows along the shore. They were so wet, it was almost obscene. I felt hot in the sun. In the tree shadow, the flesh on my arms rising like an old memory. I can't remember any jokes I told my daughters for 16 years before bed. Just the laughter is what I thought running out along Sweux towards the opposite shore. Imagine how stressful it would be to remember everything. Imagine your disappointment, I said to myself, as a gate into some meadow estates you've avoided until today. After the run, I felt sad. I wrote in my diary, fuck, dairy, fuck, when I was laughing, still feeling sad. Those prisoners out on the lake, the border. Sadness is free floating. I held down the space bar and moved the cursor into the antelope brush and big sage, where a little tuft of desert buckwheat grew like a cowlick on the dark rocks. There are many swatches of lichen, pale green, lime green, copper rust. Someone's femur on the desert's dry biotic crust, bone white bone, like a virgule among the golden rabbit brush. Don't end on any easy image file portable network graphic. Nothing you can do will save you or anyone else from death. Yet, look at this. Thanks.
That's some long clapping. Matt, how was that? Your first open mic?
Woo, first open mic.
Shimshan's doing a CBC interview. It feels like. Can we get a quote? From you, Matt? Was it good? Okay, moving on. Keeping the chains moving here. But if you liked what you heard, come out December 9th to the Alternator. Go Sock of Christmas Past, brought to you in part by Steamed Buns. Next up to the mic, we have... they're everywhere these days. Next up to the mic, the person making steamed bun jokes, taking CBC interviews, having a sip of their lager? Shimshan!
Oh, what? No, come on.
Rather short mic.
I think it goes higher.
Time to grab a chair.
Higher. Holy Dinah.
Oh, that actually fits. Cole, how
That's
many
what
years?
she said.
Nah, that's what I
You were saying?
That's what they said.
Cole, how many years have you known me? And the whole time we've known each other, I only drink IPAs. I'm like a purist. I'm offended that you think I would drink a lager. Heard.
The first time I met you, actually, Shimshan, officially, we both hosted an undergraduate event.
Oh, you're
after
right.
we were done our undergrad, but I knew of you. I had heard tell.
Okay.
Before that.
You're forgiven. You're forgiven.
I didn't know that you drank IPA. Maybe we don't drink enough together.
We just gotta drink more. That's the whole thing. Drink more.
Yeah, remind them about the bar.
But actually, yeah, when there's a break, oh my God, go drink it. That's an amazing IPA. So good. Yeah.
Well, that's your time, Shimshan.
Oh shit. This is a poem that I wrote because of my bladder. I don't know how many bladder-inspired poems are out there, but this is one. Being a trans person, going out to the world and trying to pee places or not drink enough that you pee your pants is really difficult. And that's because there are often these very terrifying bathroom situations. Yeah, thank you for the snaps. My bladder deserves it. There are these terrifying bathroom things where it's like one, group of people where they expect you to have a certain genital or whatever, and it gets very uncomfortable when someone like me walks into either one of those and leads to some very unpleasant things. But when I go home, I have a nice washroom to myself I can use. And after all the pain of holding in my bladder and it's going to explode, I notice sometimes if I pee in just the right spot, the porcelain kind of echoes and it makes this little sweet spot, and it's like a song.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's a poem in here. Because this toilet is obviously singing for me. It is celebrating my trans body, my existence, my bladder, and the fact that I don't have to hold it anymore. Now, very, very important point of order. When we were looking for a new home for IWC after the very sad loss of Milk Crate Records, when I found out that this place had not only gender-neutral washrooms, but single gender-neutral all-user washrooms, just blew my mind. So this place deserves a huge shout-out for that. My bladder and I, and probably like the whole trans community here just thanks you for that, so thanks. This is called Bathroom Song. Again, my toilet sings a melody in symphony. To me and my sour sweat, if I pee in just the right spot. Happy of its open mouth, smiling. Of welcome from the unforgiving outdoors. Of familiarity, of sanctuary, and of walking 30 minutes from the bus stop after a day spent running, dodging, and hiding from the toll-looking femme in body hair takes, as if alleviating the dysphoria, soma dysmorphia, image, sex, pain, that's standing up to release the too little water I avoid, choosing dehydration. In seeking a rest, room out, being out, coming out in a big, bad, transphobic, binary, bathroom, exclusionary, unsafe, piss pot bellied, yellowing, laughing, screaming world. So I wait for this moment, dear refuge, dying for retreat, back, home, away. An echo off porcelain at just the right angle, bringing meditative, ungendered calm. Sings, choosing celebration, to rinse away fears of stalls broken open mid-sentence, of hot, angry, fist-bearing glares, of assault, of assail, and of large yellow-black pills swallowed with maroon, sugar-free, concentrated, extra bitter cranberry juice. Again. Thank you.
Is there something on the roof?
No, just one more thing. The question I got asked last time I read this poem out last summer was, what the fuck are the yellow black pills? Anyone who knows, anyone who's had a UTI knows, just say.
Some of us use D-nanos personally.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Shimshan. Let's have another round of applause for Shimshan. I think it's safe to say we're all gonna think about Shimshan more than usual while taking a pee. There was something about Shimshan's poem just now, and then like the sounds of the snaps. They were like ironically like framed differently. Like they felt it was like dribbling or something. I don't. Is that just?
And the like dishwasher went on.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it was a soundscape.
Hey, what? Yeah.
I thought the dishwasher was someone going.
Okay, we're ahead of schedule here, but I'm still gonna keep the train rolling. Maybe we'll have time to plug the podcast before the break. We're gonna have one more person come up here, but I just thought I'd prime you a little bit there, Shimshan. Last person in the open mic. We rocked it out. We're having fun. The energy's high. Then we're gonna do a 20-minute break. So let's have a huge. Let's give all that energy. Last person up to the open mic. I hope I'm saying this correctly. Juhi. Woo! Yes. Yeah. Bring it up. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Hi everyone, so I'm Juhi and I'm from India and today is actually Diwali, so happy Diwali!
You look amazing.
Thank you. So the poem I'll be reciting is called Reality in the Eyes of a Girl. It's from a personal experience. So every time I step out the door, men give me looks I can't ignore. Their eyes follow me, staring and judging me, their smirks and whispers being all that I can see. Every time I walk into a club, I find myself surrounded by men busy checking out my body, hooting, acting like they've got something to collect, with these disgusting thoughts floating in their head. And before I can even say no, they're already harassing me unchecked. Every time I walk home from a late night party, a fear ignites within me. A fear of whether I'll be able to walk that isolated street all alone. A fear of whether the black dress that I'm wearing is a little too short. A fear of whether the blue car behind has been following me for far too long now. An unquenchable fear, so intense that I'm already dialing a number, hoping that I didn't drink anything that put me in a slumber. That's why I hate walking home, day or night. My entire body becomes paralyzed in fright, knowing that their eyes will find me in my chest, making me feel beyond uncomfortable and mad, that society has stooped to such a level that where people eyeing us weirdly isn't a thing too bad, where doing things to us against our will was completely justified. Every night I lie awake, introspecting on just how much I can take. And then it dawns on me, like a bolt out of the blue. No one, nowhere, and at no point can humiliate me like that. No one has the right to look at me like that, to objectify me like that, to taunt me, scar me, scare me, insult me, or do absolutely anything that will make me scream like a banshee. I am a girl, a beautiful one inside out. I am a daughter, a sister, a friend. I have a voice which I can use to shout. I am confident, unapologetic, and the most bona fide that I can be. I am powerful and strong, don't even try and test me. But I will stand tall and face it all. Enough of always cowering under the roving eyes of men like you. Because trust me, if society and God can't ruin you, we can make it our aim to.
Okay, everyone, I know you must be hungry for some steamed buns after all those wonderful poems. But Shimshan, you wanna plug the old ye old podcast? We're gonna plug the podcast. We'll send you off for your cigarettes and your drinks. Go get your drinks at the back. Remember that boxcar will only be open until after the break, so please refill your poutines and steamed buns and drinks. And your marijuana cigarettes that you got from Broke Press. And here we go. Okay.
All right, I'll keep this quick, but if you are having a great time tonight, and I really hope you are, and you want more Inspired Work Cafe, we have this thing called a podcast. So if you go to inspiredwordcafe.com/podcast, or if you just, search Inspired Word Cafe in your podcast app, you can find a podcast. We have a whole season last year of episodes where we brought in amazing writers, and this year we are not stopping. We have some incredible writers coming on. We just talked to Sonnet LeBay, who's an amazing poet. We have Ivan Coyote coming on. We have, that Ivan Coyote. Yeah, we have Rita Wong coming up. We just, what was it, this week, we got an email that Joshua Whitehead, who just won the Canada Reads competition this past year, and is making huge waves he just released an indigiqueer speculative fiction anthology that is amazing, and just agreed to be on our podcast. We also feature local writers. I'm going to be interviewing Matt right after this for next month's episode. So, Matt Rader. But seriously, check it out. It's something we just love sharing, and I think you will. If you love this, you'll love it too. Find Inspired Work Cafe wherever you find your podcast, or go to inspiredworkcafe.com/podcast to find it. Thanks.
Okay, Dane Cook, 20 minutes. Let's go. It's break time.
gay. And he was like the first openly gay bishop and stuff, and things like that. And like he like talks about like a lot of stuff in the Bible is like pretty ambiguous, and somehow we just go, it's anti-gay. Like it says God needs gays, whatever. But it's like not really. It doesn't actually say that contextually, but yeah, like the whole like sodomite thing. Like I guess like it was just a womanless place, and then like God only like got mad when they tried to rape women. It wasn't because they were having sex with men on the No, that's why. That's totally why. The raping was cool, but that man on this stuff.
You do try not to get context.
Yeah. Are you good? Nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was just like doing an hour of like trying to relax from work, like stuffing my face, like stretching, and then like, yeah, I got over yeah, literally. I was like, power relax. Yeah. Yeah, like a brain like reset, like maximum. Go for a smoke, but see you guys around.
My mom needs to talk to you. I don't know what about, something about cashing out or something.
funnily, tonight it's like people bought more food than they have drinks, but like so far it doesn't That's it. I think a lot of so they're like, what's good? Oh, right there.
the last order of the night.
Aren't you glad you went when I told
Okay, so we're gonna get back to it in about 5 minutes here. So grab your steamed buns, grab some drinks, please. Grab some drinks from the back. It'll really make the slam fly by. A couple of IPAs recommended by Shim Sean. So grab your drinks, grab your steamed buns, have a smoke. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay, everyone, let's find your way back to your seats. Grab your fries, grab your steamed buns, get your inspired Word Cafe totes over here. I've also been told to plug my own chapbook that is available via Broke Press over there. It's filled with lots of hilarity. It's about death. It's good time. Okay, so 5 minutes, folks. Yes, thank you, Vanna. Totes, chapbooks, shimshon, wall, lamp. I'm just naming things. Okay. I'm gonna get going here while everyone takes their time to find their seats. Lennon, put your mask on. That's my daughter. It's okay. Okay, so we're gonna get going with the second half of our show here, which is a poetry slam. Who here has been to a poetry slam before? Okay, do you want to explain the rules quickly, Reg? Here you go. Yeah. Says you kill it. It's a bit underrepresentative of what happens, but that's ideally you kill it. Okay, so Poetry Slam is a poetry competition that tonight will feature 6 people. It says on my notes here 5 people. We actually had one more person who I told maybe. Yeah, you gonna do it? Yeah. He's a vet. Yeah. So we're gonna roll through a bunch of really great poets here tonight. So basically, the idea is that a certain number of poets will perform an original poem. No covers, no props, no samples, no musical instrument. Tonight there will be no time limit, but often we time people and then we dock them points for when they go over it, because poetry is serious stuff. So a certain amount of poets will come up in the first round. They will read their poem. Judges that we are going to pull out of the crowd, I will get to that point, are going to score the poems out of 10. The top 3 scoring poets will move on to the second round. So what happens? Poet will read a poem. There'll be 5 scores that come up. We will drop the highest score and the lowest score to give those poets a score out of 30. Travis is going to come up and give you a little demo here, which I'll get to in a sec. The winner of the second round, it's not cumulative, so the winner of the second round wins the whole thing. There will be 3 poets that make it to the second round. They will all place. They will all get money for poetry. Yeah, pretty amazing stuff. Not something us poets are used to. Audience, the slam relies on you. So we need your energy. We need judges from the audience, obviously. But if you like what you hear, give some snaps, give some hoots, give some hollering. Let's have some volunteers. Does anyone want to be a judge? Okay, Reg. You want to hand a paddle to Reg? We'll get the paddles out and then we'll explain how they work.
Tell them they can't be connected.
You can't be connected to the poets that are coming up. I don't know if you know that your friends are going up, but you can't be a judge if your friend is going to go up. We try to keep things ethical here at IWC. The ethics of the poetry slam. There's an essay in that. Okay, we got 2 here. Do we have 3 more? Rose, yeah, Rose. I primed Rose for some judging. Okay, we got 3. Do we have 2 more? We need 2 more volunteers to score for the. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 4. We just need 1 more volunteer. 1 more volunteer, please. Hook us up. Yes, Zan. Yes, Zan's gonna judge. Okay, Zan, Travis is gonna keep your paddle for 1 second. Travis, keep the paddle 1 second, Zan. Travis is gonna show us how the paddle works here. So a poet comes up, they do their poem, then judges, you're gonna score them out of 10. It'll be to a decimal point. Obviously 10, it'll just be 10.0 if that's what you give them, but you give them a score from 1 to 10 to the first decimal point. Judges, there's this thing that's called score creep that happens. So sometimes what happens is poets come up here, They read a poem, judges judge it, and then the judges look and they see that other judges are giving them 9s and 10s. And so they give way to peer pressure and they start giving out the 9s and 10s. Judges, be yourself. Score the poem how you would score it. A 6, a 5, a 7, whatever you want. Those are good scores. That's okay. Don't listen to the crowd when they boo you for giving too low of a score, but crowd, boo people if you think they gave too low of a score. But the idea is here is, judge the way you want to judge and give those poems their scores. Ultimately, poets, when you come up here, don't take it personally. You are not your poems. You are not the scores. It's totally arbitrary. We've literally pulled these people randomly out of the audience. Rose herself said, I don't know anything about scoring poetry. That's the point. That's the point of the slam. Okay, so poets, don't take it personally. Rose doesn't know what she's doing. Shimshan? Yes.
Oh, me? Okay. I got some very, very important news from the wonderful folks at BNA. Last call is going to be at 8:30, so you probably want to get your last drinks in like 15 minutes. Like, don't interrupt Cole too much.
Well, yeah, go ahead and interrupt him if you're
Oh,
going to.
no, yeah, interrupt him and get your drink, and then, I don't know, poetry?
Nice cover. No, interrupt me. Seriously, drunkenly interrupt me. Get your drink. Support BNA because they are supporting us and they're making this night possible. Yeah, it's up around your applause. Turn those applause into alcohol. People, if you don't drink alcohol, drink a pop, drink a water. That's totally okay too. But the other people, be generous. Be generous with your drinks. Okay, we understand the slam, sort of. I roll through it quickly. Okay, Reg, give me a summary. Kill it, exactly. Sorry, I bummed a cigarette and now I'm coffee. I'm sorry. Okay, so before the slam starts, we're going to bring up what's called a sacrificial poet. So we're going to bring this poet up. We have a knife. It's very religious. This is a trigger warning. Turn away if you don't like people being sacrificed in small bar rooms. No, seriously. The idea is that this poet will come up. They will read a poem and they'll give the judges a sort of like freebie to figure out how they're going to judge. The judges will score this poet. They will not be competing in the slam, but the idea is that they're an icebreaker. The first person who goes up in a slam often, as Gray knows, sometimes doesn't always get the best scores because the crowd is a little cold. So without further ado, Gray, please come up here, be our sacrifice. Judges, be ready. Here we go.
I'm gonna need this mic a little higher. Paul.
Thank you. Sorry to be a painful tall person. Oh,
How's that?
that's great. I love it.
Is that good?
Yeah.
I should have worn heels. Thank you. I need it a little lower.
Lower! You want to stand by it and I'll... How's that?
That's great, thank you. Complicated relationship, cross-legged under the awning at 1 a.m. on my front-facing porch. Rain bounces off the sunny patio table, water embracing peeling metal, as though it's a citrus fruit that's been sun-dried, as though I am splitting an orange with the earth, which I learned was an expression of love last year. What are we? I ask her, planet Earth, in case that was unclear. She answers with some more wet rain. Some of it sprinkles my face with dewy freckles, and I don't think she told me everything, but for some reason, I am okay with this. I think I have given myself a new type of anxiety. I feel scared all the time, but with her I am honest, and for some reason, she is okay with this. I spend my last 30 seconds in the chill air, studying the lines of my hands. I want to hold on to this moment just a little longer. The album I'm listening to draws to a close, and I associate this music with this small experience forever, and I spend my last 30 seconds studying the lines of my hands. Thank you.
Okay, judges, This is your one chance to fuck everything up and learn all about your paddles. Sometimes you gotta make mistakes learning about paddling. It's a canoe reference. Okay, judges, we have an 8.1. What do we think of that, audience? That was terrible. 8.1. What do we think of that, audience? Okay. That's great, you're with me. Okay, 7.3 from Alvin. Not as generous with the bullets as we are with Alvin. No, Alvin, do your thing. Don't let the crowd sway you, Alvin. Be you. Okay, Zan. 8.7. What do you think? We got a 7.3 from Rose. Mixed emotions, Rose. Mixed emotions. You're doing great. You're doing great. Stick to yourself. Jude. 8.2, what do we think? Gray, the gods are pleased. That sacrifice served everyone well. Let's have another round of applause for Gray. They crushed it out here. Okay. Ready yourself, judges. What's that? Was that 5? Did we get all the judges?
Can you hold them up?
Everyone, judges, hold your paddles up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's all. That's everyone. Okay. Poets can count to 5. What's that? Can we get someone to score? Okay. So while we're buying a little time for the scorekeeper, my voice will lower a little bit and get slower. Let's turn the lights down. Okay, now we're back to regular speed. The scorekeeper has their pen first up to the mic. Let's have a warm IWC welcome. Someone they're totally new, their knees are shammering. Is that a word? Shammering? I don't think it's a word. It sounds like an Irish word, right? Like shammering. I don't know. Okay, let's welcome Aaron Scott to the mic.
Hello.
Really put that on there.
I always do.
Ode to an iguana. The question isn't, do you love me, but did we kill an iguana today? And the answer isn't always clear. Jessica says we swerved. We missed crushing it with our wheel as we tried to navigate from Potrero down the western coast to Nosara. When she looked in the side mirror, she says she couldn't see its insides. We hit a bump at that same moment, but it lived and is still alive now. And I bring Lorca with me as I travel south in the jungle, and there is no other way than to call on Duende, to place my open heart at the edge of all our wounds. Seek form in our yearning and know that there is no muse, no angel who can save us. We are a visible expression of a deep torment, and it is love we hope will swerve. Keep us breathing under pressure of time's curve. Our love is an Ouroboros, infinite and consuming. Down here, roads are not really roads anyway, so the iguana, who is alive, had all the right to change direction mid-step and turn from the gravel back to the dead brush and hide. Jessica drives 30 kilometers south on this path with no signage, no people, just uneven soil. A dust layer across treetops, casas in red, orange, the sea peeking out for just a glimpse. That night, you fear what may come of us. As I lay awake to the hum of forest life outside, my vision of you is punctuated by falling mamonchillo against the clay roof. I step out into darkness, cradle the green body of this new fruit, sticky insides against its skin after impact. I am not afraid to split the crack open and lick the fresh, aromatic juices clean. I am not afraid.
Okay, judges, get your scores ready. That was pretty good. That, at the beginning of that poem, it says, like, do you love me? And I was thinking, like, do you love me? Yes. Alvin would have got a like, call and response from that, right? Come on, Alvin, you gotta teach me your skills. Okay, judges, what do you got here? We have a 9.2. That was okay. Well, let me try that again. We have a 9.2. Okay. You're with me. Okay, judges, what do we have next? We have a 7.8 from Alvin. Mixed reviews. Stay true, Alvin. Stay true to yourself. We got a 9.0 from Rose. 9.0. We have a 9.0 from Sam. Okay, and who's left? Who's left? There's somebody else. Somebody else I'm not seeing. Reg. Jude!
I'm panicking.
Think of a joke. 8.6 from Jude. Yeah, respectable. Okay, let's have another round of applause for Aaron. Give it up to the poet and not the poet. Yeah. That's one of the things we really try to stress with our slams at IWC is that it's all about the poets and not the points. The points are arbitrary, but when you get some 9.2s, that feels pretty good, you know. Okay, we're moving on here. Next up to the mic is another Aaron. The battle of the Aarons tonight. Aaron Sawicki. Yeah, Aaron. Let's round of applause for Aaron.
That's fine. So I'm not bougie enough to actually like print my poems out. I'm kind of broke, so it's my poems. For all the broke university students. This poem is called A Mother's Love. My mother holds me, sits me on her lap, tells me stories of little people under the stairs, of magic fairies, and funny stuffed bears. We play together, frolicking through the trees, the snow, and scraping our knees. She called me her darling daughter. Named after the land, hope, and joy. When I started high school, my family moved cities. Cold, those winter months were, I remember. We moved in with Betty Lou, the person my mother knew, a mother of a mother. She told my mother there was no need to hold me. Instead, she wanted my mother to scold me. Look pretty, you're dressed like a little skank, so fat, lose some weight, cake face. Her words, cruel, full of spite, cut deep like 1,000 little knives. My mother became nothing but a passive voice, making me listen without a choice. My insecurities grew like an elephant in the room, but all I view in the mirror is an elephant, big, ugly, and not worth love. Praises grew the more weight I'd lose, and my mother knew. I would sit in my room wondering if I threw away my life, would anyone notice? There was a day in a car ride to school I told my mother that I like girls. She told me I knew nothing. When I became an adult, I started university. I cried when I got in, my joy overwhelming. My mother did not hold me in her arms. Father and mother simply told me to succeed no matter what, if it makes you bleed. That way they could breed an idea of what success really is. Hard work, long days, no distractions. For mother molded me like putty in her hands, taken up from the sands of her life. I was your perfect image, created by man. One set purpose, fulfill what she can't. The apple of her eye, the fruits of her hard labor.
a little piece of pottery. Mother, she made me in more ways than she can see. After all, I cannot be the perfect daughter. I have little touch with my femininity. Not a girl, but fluid like water raining down on an everlasting confusion. Who am I? But Mother didn't understand. She said she knows who I am. I am her hope. I am her legacy. To Mother, I am a shining star, a mere image she refuses to look at but tinkers to fix all the little mistakes. A doll. That I am her darling daughter. Thank you.
Hey Aaron, have you competed in many slams before? This is my first slam! I think the crowd thinks you did well. They loved it. Okay, yeah, you did. There we go. Okay, we got an 8.4 from Rose. Casually, I heard Rose just say, that was powerful. That was very powerful. We got a 7.9 from Jude. Jude, you made up your mind quick this time. Higher, Dad, higher. We have an 8.5. That was fine. 9.3 from Rich. Where's the other judge? Alvin. 8.5, Alvin. 8.5. Okay, let's give up to the poet and not the poet. Okay. Third up to the mic. Building anticipation. Is anyone else hot? I took the tarp off. Next time I'm just gonna wear like a tank top and cutoffs underneath like snowsuit because it's cold. It's getting colder outside. But beach day. Oh, yeah, I like it. Okay, next up to the mic. I built enough anticipation. Next up to the mic, IWC. Warm welcome, Jory Luz. Yeah.
I really need a pee right now. It's just a flowing. That poem got me flowing. Okay. So my name is Jory. This poem is actually sort of a collection of smaller poems that sort of come together to become one larger piece. So the titles of the poem is the first, the second, the third, the last, and the end. So when I say the end, it's not the end. So just a little disclaimer there. All right, here goes nothing. The first. She was the first girl. She somehow was always the first. She was the first ILY, and the first I love you. She was the first handhold, tight hug, and goodnight text. She was the first written song, poem you said, and no past. She was the first safe house, heartbreak, and first kiss. She was the first drunk call, farewell, and morning bliss. She was the first hug I received at a party, and the first to ever see me in a crowd. She was the first girl who was taller than me, and the first one to ever see me as proud. She was the first heart I learned how to break. The first lesson of love's tremor and quake. She was the first person to accept my demons, but I still regret letting her see them. But first only lasts once. The first can never be first the second time around. Therefore, I hold her in regretful remiss, for she taught me of love's wonder, a debt I might never be able to repay. The second. She was the unrequited love, an unopened Pandora box of feelings. She was a friend on the surface, but in her presence, oh my goodness, my heart fluttered. This girl was the main character in her own movie and the love interest in mine. We were partners, her and I. If only I had mustered up the courage to reveal such a thought to her when it was relevant. Years later, here I am, modeling a purple heart, one that was weathered and tired. She and I have a conversation as arbitrary and aleatory as they had always been. We're caught on the streamlined wind of popcorn thoughts, banter bouncing about the room, and I told her I liked her once upon a time. And there was a glisten in her eye when she said she had felt the same. It was like this road of time that I've been running on had been a wrong turn in a series of wrong turns, and this VHS of reality was interrupted by a foggy dream in which my life and hers had collided a bit differently. Oh, cruel, cruel Miss Melancholy moments, but I see that she's happy. A good man at her side that makes her smile, but even so, it's still fun to live in this different reality, live in this dream, even just for a while. The third. She treated me with more kindness than I ever deserved. She was the best friend I didn't know I needed. She was awkward and spoke a little too much, but interesting and fun to listen to. She taught me that love takes effort and is complicated, that love doesn't have to be first kisses and holding hands. Love can be the songs we sang. Love can be the memories we made when we dated. Love can be innocent, pure, and unadulterated, that our bodies were no substitute for time. She gave me hers, and I gave her mine. I don't remember ever explicitly telling her I loved her. I don't think she ever told me either. I do know, though, that I met a beautiful soul, someone's story that intertwined with mine in some strange, amazing way, the last. I'll tell you what, at the end of time, if I had to, I would peel back the surface of the sun to find evidence of the last. I would search the oceans and allow the pressure to grind my atoms to a pulp if it meant I could find a piece of her at the bottom. Love is quite a strange thing, I know you know it. And my love for her was no different in a difficult undertaking, yes, but if love was easy, I don't think it would clutch onto history like it has, the language of romance, dancing from poetry to cinema like an unlawful bandit, stealing too many hearts to count. Love brought me to the mirror every morning to allow the monologues in my chest to rehearse the performance for when I met her for the first time. The evening when it all began, a whirlpool worth yielding to. This is how it went. We met. A far from perfect meet cute, became friends. An unconventional pair walked away in search of something different, fell in love, an alluring force unbroken, but we fell apart. Slowly transforming us into a tragic sentence that ended in an ellipses. And alas, here we are. The end of an amusing tale retold. The one that did not last. And the last one that I had loved might just be the last. The end. I have already allowed myself to remain helpless in the face of love on 4 different occasions, and I just do not know if my heart can stretch any further. I used to think that when you fall in love, you take a knife to the heart and cut a patch as an offering in hopes that someone would watch over it. Instead of this, I now believe that when you fall in love, you give them just the tip's end of a thread. I think we do this so that when we're lost, we can always find our way back to the person we love. My dear friends, I've watched my heart unravel to the ends of the earth in 4 different directions nowadays when I'm lost. I check if my heart is still there. If there's any more string left to give, and if there's any more string left to follow. Thank you.
Jory's poem brought to you in part by Wrong Turns. Wrong Turns, I hope you gassed up recently. Okay, Jory. Jory, did you win the slam last time?
Yes.
Jory, a winner. Ooh, yeah. Okay, what do we have, judges? We have a 9.5 from Reginald. We have a 9.1 from Rose. We have an 8.4 from Alvin. We got a Wayne Gretzky over here, 9.9. That was a hockey reference. And finally, we have an 8.2 from our friend Jude. Hey, Jude. Jude probably hates that joke. Okay, so that's all the judges. Give it up for the poet, not the points. Okay, the next poet needs the next poet's mullet needs no introduction. Welcome to the stage, Mackenzie Kenshaw.
You know, I feel the being hot, but the compliment. Okay, this poem is about some sensitive subject matter, so if we can just take a moment to absorb that this is going to be a bit of a talk about rape, sexual assault, that kind of thing. Growing up, and maybe even currently, I kind of feel like the type of girl person that isn't susceptible to sexual assault, and that is honestly kind of a fucked up thing to think sometimes, so I wrote a poem about it. Congratulations. Hooray, you've never been raped. Good for you. You're not just lucky. You've earned this. It took so much hard work, walking faster after dark and never wearing skirts, sanding down the salacious edges of your femininity for your own safety. Your hair is short and your curves are not languid. So you can be one of the boys and the master of the "I'm not like other girls" language. You've never been raped, and you should celebrate. So smart and so good of you, never putting yourself in harm's way. You know better than to accept kindness for kindness' sake, so you know how to hold your keys so that you'll make it home safe. You consider yourself a demonstration of not all men. Be grateful for the protection of having a boyfriend. If you are taken, you can't be taken. Those catcalls are not red flags. They are cheers for your being so in line and in place. You are such a good girl, and good girls don't get raped. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken, and thanks for such a thoughtful trigger warning to start that poem. Okay, judges, how we doing here? Jude, speed it up here, Jude. We got a 9.5. Yeah, the crowd likes that. We got an 8.7. The old Sidney Crosby. I'm showing what a straight male I am by making hockey references. Zan, we've got an 8.8. We got a wound from Henry on that one, not much else going on. Zan, we have an 8.8. Okay, that was good. We got a 9.3 from Alvin. And finally, bringing up the rear, we have our friend Reginald with a 9.7. Give it up for the poet, not the points. One more time. Yeah. Okay, next up to the mic, we have the person with no last name. Actually, there's a couple people. There's many people with no last names on here. Liam. Yeah, Liam. Let's round of applause for Liam as he takes the stage.
Oh, it's perfect. So, before I would start, I would like to address the fact that I am so excited that I even got a slot in this slam. I was here when the line was still coming out of the building before the doors were open, and I got the last spot. So that's what it takes now. Oh. My poem is called Black Lilies. In any color so long as it's black, or so it's said, it's as simple as that. I feel like decisions are so reinforced by an outside farce, their purity becomes dark. We've all victim to our hearts, for their wants are greater than our minds can comprehend. Shopping for flowers, all that come back are black lilies. I was looking at the pansies and liked what I saw until my heart dragged me on to the section with black lilies. I tried to buy marigolds, but 'twas to no end, for my heart would not bend at the checkout. Feels kinda crazy, can't make choices, thoughts clouded, deluded by past bound forces. Everything we've sensed, anything we've felt, all part of the reason we're buying black lilies when there are prettier choices. Available, my mind is to influence, use for your convenience, plant seeds in my head and tend to them dearly or recklessly abandon them. After all, these blossoms still grow through the night. And once they bloom, they fill up my head, control every action till the day I am dead. But until that day arrives, let them flourish. For if they wilted, I'd be lost without their control. It's the only thing I know. Bygone days, they've fully grown. All I buy are black lilies. Life, friends, activities, all of them are black lilies. Assert pressure, my choice is darkly corrupted if all I buy are black lilies. Convoluted, influenced, and misconstrued by the black lilies in my head. Kind of crazy, the impact that these black lilies have. Thank you.
Okay, Liam, I gotta ask. You've competed in many slams?
Not any that were like an official IWC event, but this is not my first time doing poetry.
It's not Liam's first fucking rodeo here. Well, thanks for coming out, Liam, and thanks for sharing. That was so great. Give it up for the poet and not the poet. There will be points. That's a Daniel Day-Lewis movie, I think. There will be points. They got nothing. Okay, judges. What do we got, judges? 9.1 from Reginald. Lukewarm. 7.5 from Rose. What do we think?
Higher,
Come on. What do we think of the 7.5 people? 8.3. We have another 8.3. Come on. There we go. And to close it out, Judy Jude, 7.8.
You gotta be joking.
I didn't hear that joke. Okay, moving on. We have 2 more people left in the slam. Let's have a warm IWC welcome for our next poet, who only goes by a single letter. You will come to know this person by that letter. Let's have a warm IWC welcome for B.
That's pretty good. Yeah, thank you. This is also my first time ever performing. Okay, this is my big fuck you to organized religion. It's called The Day God Died. Alright. Oh, Heavenly Father, forgive me for I have sinned. Her pussy was just so good I had to give it. If the kingdom of heaven has no place for me, then at least you know I've gotten down on my knees. So, does purgatory work like a drive-in, or will the devil pick me up in his sports car? I'll show him how to use a vibrator on the way. Am I turning into a godless gay? Rubbing my clit to ring the devil's doorbell like, hey daddy, I finally made it to hell! You told me I was supposed to be a good girl, so I ran my hands up her pleated skirt just to make those toes curl. The creator of heaven and earth, you forgot to gift me a nice, forgot to gift me a 7-incher with nice skirt. But for what it's worth, now I don't have to use a hanger to prevent a forced childbirth. Oh, Heavenly Father, why did you make me choose? It was always going to be my life over you. I will submit to you the day my dad gets a fucking tattoo and my livelihood is no longer your taboo.
Since B wrote that poem, B's dad got a tattoo of birds, the word fly turning into birds. B's dad just needed a tattoo, so the poem doesn't work as much anymore. Let's score it like I didn't say that. Let's hear it. We got an 8.9. We got a 9.8. We have a 10. First 10. 10 whole points. 9.3. 9.7. Alternate scores are in inches, people. Okay, last up to the mic, we have my friend. I forgot your name again. I'm terrible with names.
We're friends, so it's alright.
Yeah. What's your name again?
Josiah.
Josiah! Let's have a warm IWC welcome for Josiah.
I wish this was my height, but
Bro, don't talk about height.
Sorry. Okay, so I actually wasn't going to perform today. I just came here for my friend Shotaro, who's always dressed nicely. And my phone's at 8%, and that's the only thing I'm using on.
You're rocking.
So let's get to it. Okay, thank you. This is called Being Born a Bee. Being born a bee. Born to be afraid of, avoided, hated, yet to produce the sweetest of nectar. Being born a bee, neither fit in enough to stand out, or stand out enough to fit in. So, sometimes they sting. Sometimes they buzz. Being born a bee, so small in this world, yet the pressure of where they fly lays upon them, and it just doesn't seem to get better. Being born a bee, their very defense mechanism fated to kill them, twisted but effective mechanism of resisting temptation. Being born a bee, how sad, how lonely it must be being born a bee. But strength comes in numbers. Yes, you can't choose whether you're yellow or black. You can't choose the way you defend or how you react when you're attacked. Embrace both. Not hate both. And settle. And realize being born a bee might be tough, but honey tastes better when you work hard. Being born a bee is not that simple. It's not that simple. They work and work and work all to please people, not with who they are, but what they can give. Being born a bee, don't be deceived by things you don't know and by the things you can't see. Only to be relieved by the fruit, not the seed. Don't relish on the breed without actual need. And understand people, if not all, are born a bee. I am a bee, a simple, gentle, yet glorious bee. Sometimes I buzz too loud or don't make enough honey, but when I go back to the hive, always black and yellow. What makes me constant? What makes me separate, but cohesive? What makes me me?
Do you love me? Okay, judges, what do we got for it? We're going to keep it rolling here. We're going to be over time in 7 minutes. I'm sorry, BNA. We're going to roll through it as quickly as we can here. 8.3. 9.8, 9.2, 9.5, 8.0. Okay, while our wonderful scorekeeper here brings me the list of people who made it into the next round, I want to remind people that the people who made it into the next round are not necessarily the best poets. They are the people that got the best scores. Scores are not you. Your poems are not you. You are all wonderful poets. Let's have a round of applause for all the courage. Especially from Reginald. He's a courageous motherfucker. Okay, what do we got here, Emmett? That's the order? Yeah. Okay, so first up to the First up to the mic, we have B.
Do you have the money to?
Hey, I did not expect to make it this far, so I'm just like randomly choosing a poem. This is, going on the same route. I'm from America, if you don't know. I'm from the capital.
Where?
America. Yeah, and this one's what I thought it would be like if I went to the Capitol insurrection. It's called Everything I've Ever Done. A tear trickles down my face as I hear my God's voice. Grab her by the pussy, he said. His loving message fills me with like peanut butter on white bread. In this moment, I can feel his presence. I put my God hates the gays shirt and head to the car. Today, I was going to see God in the flesh. He looks as golden in person as he does in my American dreams. I look around at the massless sea that is all riled up and ready to make history. A proud man looks at me with the power of my priest and hands me my very own AK-47. The air is crisp and smells like pee on unwashed hands. We came to the Capitol to show them who owns this land. Sun beaming, but there was many moons climbing that wall. It wasn't until I reached the Oval Office that I realized I am a true American soldier.
America! Did I misread that poem? Okay, judges. 7.8 from Jude. 7.5 from Rose. 7.9 from Zan. 8.2 from Albert. We've got wow, 9.1 from Okay, in the interest of the B&A folks not staying too long, I'm going to keep rolling here even though the poems are amazing. If I don't say wonderful things or some hilarious quip right after your poem, it's only because I'm trying to get us out of here on time. Next up to the mic, we have my friend, whom I know their name, Josiah.
My lucky number. Anyways. Okay, so this is my response to a poem. By the way, I haven't presented it for like 2 years. This is my response to a poem when I was like super sad, and my teacher was like, hey, write a response to this poem, I think it will help you. And it was like kind of the opposite and turning it around, and like my big fuck you to everyone. So here you go. So this is a response to Let Us Go. And I'm saying, let us stay. Let us stay then, you and I. Let us reside where thoughts become dormant, where the bluebirds wake and sleep, and no one dares to ask about the cup they just drink. Like a baby bird from its nest not ready to fly, like an infant born in 8 months in us. No, let us stay. Forget the universe, forget Michelangelo, forget the mermaids. And always remember me, and that we don't have to go. For this is what the heart is, and you have nothing to do with tomorrow, so don't chase it. Yes, let us stay. You, a privileged king, a fish in the sea, a tree in the forest. You, broken glass, a bloodthirsty bird, have you not realized where you're going? And would you take me or leave me? We have no expiry dates, for we are non-perishable, so why fear? So why go? Still. One who doesn't fear is still, steady and stays. So you, not like Angela, I say once, Let us stay, or I will go.
We watched this movie with my 2-year-old the other day, so I'm just gonna go for it. Let us stay, let us stay. No, anyone? Okay, judges, I'm buying time. Judges 9.4. 7.9, that's the percent on Josiah's phone. 8.2.
Okay.
8.6. Come on, crowd, we're almost there. Keep it going, yeah. Reg, 9.3, closing it out. Give it up to the poet and not the points. Okay, the final poet of the night, last month's winner. Let's have a warm IWC welcome for Jory.
Thank you for having me. I'll try to be quick. This poem is called To the Woman Who Taught Me Gratitude. You would start every class with an oath. Today I will learn something new. A phrase not easily forgotten, and I can say for certain people still remember. And you would end every day with a conversation. Sit down, everyone, and let's talk about the meaning of life. And invitations to conversations in which you shared your observations of what mattered most in the world. I would give anything to remember verbatim the wisdom you spoke into existence, the kindness you carried in your heart, the wit and charm that made everyone smile. Miss Falsetto was a curly-haired Italian woman that never seemed to age. She had a smile that could pierce through early morning classes and jokes that would give birth to a murmur of awkward laughter, the kind of jokes that were better with age, the ones best heard in memory, bringing you delayed laughter, as you remember just how awfully great they were. She was a woman whose vibrance and personality shook a room. Her skin was fair and young. Her eyes easy to trust, her voice elegant but firm. There was so much to appreciate you barely would have noticed that she used a walker every day. I still remember the morning that she told us that a year ago that day she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I thought to myself in my head that although her hands firmly gripped the plastic handlebars that let her stand, a slight tremor with every step she took, there was nothing about her that said she felt sorry for herself. She had the kind of dedication of putting one foot forward in every sense of the phrase, footsteps I'd be honored to follow. She didn't walk that fast. And it took her longer than most to traverse through the school, but my goodness, she had a way with words. She filled the time she walked with conversations and stories that she told to students who were near enough to listen. Her lectures were composed of fireworks that bore sparks to ignite the most uninterested of students with a passion to learn, and on top of all that, she had a gaze. Not a stare, not a scowl nor glare. She had a gaze, and a gaze that said, I believe you can do this. Like, I really believe you can do this. She could somehow tear down the adversity that lived in most people with only one look. I wish I wrote notes on the lectures she gave to us after hours. The lectures that made us think about the kind of people we were meant to be, simultaneously giving us direction and autonomy. I once had a conversation with her about what made life seem so unfair, and what seemed to feel like only a few words she taught me about gratitude. She explained to me the intricacies of being grateful for the little things in life, and that the delay of gratitude only bears better fruit to harvest, only ensures better aged wine, only carries better stories to be told, and it hit me. It makes so much sense that this woman would know all about gratitude. When I left her class for the last time, she gifted me a book and a lovely goodbye letter. To this day, I haven't finished this book. Not for lack of trying, but because I'm afraid once I reach the last word on that last page, the best teacher I've ever had, the woman who taught me gratitude, will have nothing more to teach me. I hope one day I'll have the courage to finish this book, but for now, I think I'll remain as her student, because every day I promise to learn something new, and I hope at the end I might find the meaning of life that she spoke so fondly of. Thank you.
we're gonna see some scores here. We're gonna bring the poets up. We're gonna hand the money out. BNA, we're getting out of here as soon as possible. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for the love. Okay, judges, what do we have? We have a 9.3. What do we think? Give me the energy. We're almost done. Give me everything you got left. 9.1. 9.9. 9.8. Is that all of them? No. 0.1. Oh, 10. Dude, son of a bitch. Okay, that's all the scores. I'm gonna buy our scorekeeper a little time by thanking our sponsors. Thanking everyone once again. Thanks to our sponsors. Thank you, BNA, for your patience, for your love, for your drinks, for your boxcar food. Thank you, Bro Press, for coming out and selling the books. Thank you, Reginald, for bumming me a smoke, steamed buns, volunteers, judges, poets, audience. Let's have a round of applause. One final. Everything. Okay, here it is, the moment of truth. Thank you, Emmett. In third place, winning the prize of $20, Jory! Oh, okay, Emmett ordered the poets upside down, but with numbers beside them. So Jory, give me that back here. Who knows what place you'll take? Okay, in third place, winning the prize of $20, B. Yeah, B, come get your $20. Don't spend it all in one place unless it's at Brocrest B. Thank you for coming out.
It's only 16 American.
If that. Okay, and next up in second place we have Josiah. Come on, Josiah, get up here. Take your bow. Take your $40, or as I recently learned, 48 Australian dollars. Take that, Australia. And finally, in first place, it's a mystery. Let's have a drum roll. In first place of the November IWC Slam, Jory. Winning $60. And with that, thank you everyone for coming out. Be gentle with yourself so you can be gentle with someone else. Have a good night. Come to our events in December. We love you.